All right, Davey and Jade from AFI, thank you very much for the time. Welcome back to Australia.
Thank you.
It's great. I mean, this is now becoming a second home almost. You guys don't mind coming out to Australia, and we don't mind having you here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We really like coming here.
Yeah.
It's great to be back.
Congratulations on the album Burials.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is when we got 17 Crimes. It's now one of our most played songs on Triple M around the country.
Really? Well, thank you.
It is absolutely flat out.
Awesome.
Tell me a little bit about the song, first of all.
Something, we were writing this record, and, you know, we were going home for the day, about ready to pack up, and we just sat there and started playing this song, and it just kind of came out. Within about 15 minutes, we had written it, so.
This is one of those.
It is.
One of
It's
those
one of
songs.
Those. It's one of those. It had a great reaction today. That makes sense.
That makes sense,
That
yeah.
makes sense
Yeah,
from
it's
me
getting
playing it
flogged.
so much.
We just play the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Do you have any other one of those songs that give you too much trouble? Do you have are those moments where songs can be particularly difficult?
Of course. Yeah, there's a lot of songs that we just give up on.
Probably our song Miss Murder, which is like, you know, probably our biggest hit. That one was definitely not very easy. Some of it was easy, but it took a while to get that where we wanted it, so.
Is there any secret to, you know, a song to come out in 15 minutes, or is it just right place, right time?
Yeah, just luck. When
just
things
luck.
click like that, it's just luck.
Yeah.
Do you ever try and replicate what you were doing at a particular time when one of these songs happens? They go, maybe it'll happen again.
No.
Well, we were kind of doing that for a year, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing it for a year. Every once in a while it happens.
Just like lightning, you know, just kind of strikes sometimes.
This is either a true thing that I saw online, or you can validate
Probably
this
false.
or not. Yeah, true or false, fact or crap, whatever you want to call it. That when AFI formed, none of you could play instruments.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah, but Jade wasn't in the band when AFI formed, so Jade could play an instrument when AFI formed. However, I still cannot play an instrument. But at the time of our inception, Adam Carson and the two members of the band who were the original guitarist and bass player could not play their instrument. We were just friends, and we wanted to start a band, and we were influenced by a lot of the DIY hardcore that had happened in the 80s, particularly what happened in DC, and that ethos allowed us to feel confident with doing something like that, and we just did.
It was a hell of a movement, the DC movement, and it was an aggressive movement. The Bad Brains, etc. You know, it was. I mean, that was a message out there for people. Shit's not right. We should do something about it.
We should do something about it. Shit needs to change, and that was. I mean, you know, musically it was very influential as well as politically in a few respects.
And here's another fact or crap. You disbanded when you attended different colleges.
Correct. Also facts.
Wow.
We when the band split up in 1993 for 6 months. I moved to Berkeley. Adam moved to Santa Cruz. Our then bass player Jeff moved to New Jersey and joined a punk band called Blank 77. And our guitarist Mark moved to Pomona. 6 months later, we reunited for a show that we were encouraged to play by some local bands at a place called the Phoenix Theater in Petaluma. And the show went so well that we decided to dedicate the rest of our lives to such rock and roll pursuits as AFI. Now, along the way, we had the privilege of gaining Hunter and Jade. But this lineup has been together for, well, since 98. Right, Jade?
So I've been 16 years.
16 years. So
wow.
So this lineup. So AFI has been together 22 or 23 years or something like that. But
now, not being a musician myself, is it a scary thing when you decide this is it? I'm putting everything into this, or are you still a little bit hesitant, going, "Can I do this?"
Well, there was not much "can I" for us, because when we decided to do that, the sentiment was more along the lines of what you first expressed, in that we knew that dedicating our lives to music meant dedicating ourselves to a lifestyle that was completely abnormal from you know what most people experience in their lives, and we knew we would never be able to be in one place at the same time. We never felt that we would ever have homes or even really be able to feed ourselves. That was the decision that we made, and we were happy to make that decision because we never expected that anything we do would attract anywhere near the attention that it did. So that was the decision we made, but we were happy with it because you know it's what made us happy, and that was more important.
The alternative is getting a real job, which is where I was faced when they asked me to join the band. I was like out of college, like, oh my God, am I gonna have to really be a regular person? This sucks.
Yeah.
And luckily, just in time, they asked me to join, so I didn't have to be.
Well, that's why I do radio, because it's not a regular
fired
job.
from every job, so it wouldn't have been a good situation.
Yeah.
what else? There was something in particular. I'm going to have to come back to it because it's just jumped out of my head. Actually, I'll go with this, Jade. Your first guitar. Tell me the story.
My first guitar?
Yeah, like did your parents help you buy it? What sort was it?
Yeah, my dad gave me my first guitar, and it was a Les Paul, which is like I play to this day, which, you know, it's lucky. I could have got a really shitty guitar as my first guitar, but it happened to be an amazing guitar, and I played it in my first band, and I still have that guitar today, which is it's very sentimental to me, so yeah.
Have you tried different guitars and always gone back to this one? Has it been a sentimental favorite like that?
I don't play necessarily that guitar because I don't want anything to happen to it, but I play Les Pauls to this day, Les Paul Studios, which is what that was. And I kind of like, it just clicked with me, and I've never lost I've never lost the appeal.
I remember being 16 and friends getting guitars and everyone getting the crappy, cheap Fender rip-off kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there was always the one guy who got, you know, the Les Paul, and you just go, how did he get that?
Yeah.
There's always one, and you're one of them.
I'm him.
Oh, man. Well, that's not a bad thing at all. And going back to the jobs thing, like, did you have jobs before this all started? Because you were very young, like you said. Your kids.
I mean, I started when I was 15, so I managed to avoid most
real work,
civilian work, which, I mean, we worked very hard at what we did, but I didn't really have your typical job. I did cater for a while when I was growing up in high school. I worked at a pear packing plant, pear packing shed in the town that Jade and I went to high school in. It was an agricultural town, so I worked there, and that was brutal. But no, I didn't, other than those few experiences, because most of the time I was in a van. You know, there was no, and you know, I was okay with being, you know, totally broke when I got back, and we were only back for such short periods of time that it was impossible to get a job. You wouldn't be able to do it. It was like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to leave in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Can you pay me? And I
In
can't do
advance.
anything anyway.
Yeah.
I don't have any talents.
How much vacation time have I got? I got to go again.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Do you remember your first gig? Because there's, I mean, again, being kids, but the first gig
First AFI show?
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. The first time AFI played was at a party at our friend Skippy's house. His older sister Alexa was having a party in high school. She was a senior. We were freshmen or sophomores. I don't remember. You were probably there. Yeah. And we had maybe like 3 original terrible songs. So we played those and some Black Flag songs and some Ramones songs, and we did them 2 sets in a row. I'm sorry, this strange man is distracting me. I think he's in that James Eats World situation. Oh, you're next? He wants to be interviewed. I'm sorry, it's about me. It's about me, not you, Jim. That's Jim from Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, is it? I
Tour
didn't see who it was.
No.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice who it was.
Yeah.
So you were saying the first gig?
I think that was it. Yeah, we played the songs twice, 3 times in a row, to the great dismay of everyone at the party, except ourselves. We were kind of upset too, I suppose.
I want to get your feeling on rock. For me, it feels like rock music is going through a bit of a resurgence. We're seeing a lot more great rock bands entering mainstream charts again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, we certainly are here in Australia. Do you?
Yeah, I read that somewhere that some big record label dude has declared that rock bands are coming back, so maybe he's right.
Whoa, who knows?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
In America, it's still very indie pop oriented, but you know, it's all cyclical. It'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Luckily, we released our record at the bottom, so
Right,
it was
right before it
perfect timing.
happened.
There you go.
We're good like that.
Yeah, good luck. That's good planning.
Yeah, it's
There
really
you
good.
go. All right, what pisses you off in general? Is it this? Is it this?
In general?
Is it Jimmy jumping in on your interviews?
Oh, what pisses me off in general?
Yeah.
I mean, what pisses me off in general actually is recreational drug use, animal consumption, selfishness, people who are disrespectful.
The normal stuff, the good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if that is normal, actually.
Well,
I think it's very abnormal.
It's
for someone to be pissed
the
off
stuff
at
that should piss you off.
I appreciate that perspective. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, we've got some generic stuff here that we're hitting all the bands with.
Sure.
And this might go back to the music movement. If there was one genre of music you could eliminate forever, what would it be?
Oh, man, I don't know.
I feel like all genres are, unless it's some weird subgenre like, you know, some shitty, I don't want to fucking name names, but, you know.
Let's not do that.
Everything's valid. Everything has its own validity.
Muzak? Is Muzak valid?
Muzak.
It
Is that
if you're in
really
an elevator?
Yeah.
You don't want to hear some
I heard
loud
Muzak
shit.
this morning in my wake-up call, and I felt it was appropriate in that environment.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting a massage. You want some.
Here's
you know?
the thing:
Something
it's like
peaceful, yeah.
it's if you're coming from a genuine place, then that's all that matters. So any disingenuous music would be eliminated, which a lot of entire genres come from a disingenuous place. But I would allow people to just kind of ponder that for themselves.
Well, I guess maybe I was hoping you would say this whole current trend of people not writing their own songs and not, lip sync, those who lip sync and,
I don't really have a problem with that because I separate. That's like kind of historically part of pop music is other people writing songs for performers.
Yeah.
And those people are more like actors than they are musicians. I mean,
I wouldn't consider them a musician, really.
Yeah, if you're talking about Britney Spears, she's sort of an actor. People do, they provide her material for her, and she performs it very well as an actress, and that's fine.
And the people that write those songs are wildly talented.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at, Dr. Luke, or if you look at Max Martin, or those
Plus, if
guys.
you go back to the
Tricky
Motown
Stewart,
in the 60s,
that's what was
there
going
was
on.
people writing those songs, those classic bands. People were writing them for them. A lot of times they weren't writing them themselves, so it's a really rich history of that.
If you look at Cole Porter and how many people play his standards, it's, there's a history of it, and it's just Jade and I agree on this. You look at it in a different way than you look at rock and roll, pop music.
That being said, I definitely respect people that write their own music more.
Of course.
If you're like someone that writes it and goes out and performs it, I mean,
it's a different thing. You don't even consider it the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they're two different things. One is a musician, one isn't.
So it sounds like you both sit around and discuss music a lot.
Not really with each other so much, I guess.
I guess over the years we've formed our opinions. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, guys, thank you very much. We are getting the wind up, not from Jim, mind you, but yeah.
All right.
But thank you so much.
I think you got Jimmy next, so
we
I'll
might
be
have.
lying on his lap the entire interview.
Beautiful.
To make sure
I like that. Thank you so much, boys. It's been great to meet you, and enjoy the rest of the tour.
Thank you for having us. This is Davey Havoc.
And Jade from AFI.
And you are listening to Triple M.
And then one for 17 Crimes.
This is Davey Havoc.
And Jade from AFI.
And this is our song 17 Crimes on Triple M.